Welcome to another episode of Limpopo Podcast. You already know your boy, Omee Otis. And today I have a special guest, a social activist, a former EFF member. He's going to tell us all about that. And I believe right now he's currently a vet student. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Bonginkosi Khanyile. Did I say it right?
Yeah, the name, no?
Yeah?
Yeah, the name, you said it right.
Mm-hmm. What did I say wrong? Oh, it's missing.
Besides, my credentials, when you introduce me, are saying vet student.
Yeah?
Yes, I'm beyond that thing. I'm a 3 times university graduate.
What?
That thing of vet is just a freestyle shame because I want to be a lawyer now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But otherwise, Ukraine.
No, ngiyajabula mfowethu ukufika la ekhaya.
Ne.
Sesifikile nathi okhanyile. Asifika ngasikalelekile. Ibikhamera engibukayo. Khona thina onxakanxa kobhande lomshini ikhafu lagazi into engalala umadubule egijima washunqa ushemula. Uyena uBonginkosi wakhanyile la. Sifika ngasikaleleke limpopo.podcast isiphakathi nanka amakhamera yangibuka.
Dango! I like the last part.
Hayi khona mina ngikhona. Ngifike.
I like you said what?
Amakhamera yangishuta.
Yeah. Who says that usually? Malume Cool Cat, ne?
Yeah.
I think he's the one who started with the trend.
Yeah, too much, yeah.
Speaking of Malume Cool Cat, when you came in here, Botula, that's the first thing I heard when you're busy walking up the stairs. I heard you singing. So, knowing that you're a social activist,
And a political activist.
yes,
Yeah.
I'm very much aware that you sing a lot. So I want you, before we proceed with everything, just to like your favorite song that you would normally sing in the street.
Awusekungcono bangidubule dubula isho njalo.
Okay?
Dubula. You say that.
Okay.
Dubula. Sekungcono bangidubule dubula. Sekungcono bangidubule dubula. Sekungcono bangidubule dubula. Sekungcono bangidubule dubula. Asisalali hima dubula. Sisilali mahlathini. Asisalali hima kaya. Sisilali mahlathini. Awusekungcono bangidubule dubula. Sekungcono bangidubule dubula. Hitoyi hawu. Hey, ta. We're turning a LiPo podcast into a protest
Hey,
movement.
man, that was beautiful. Lovely. Mom, and you were born in Umlazi.
Yes.
KZN, right? Looking at how life is today, and when you were growing up, are things still the same when you visit back home? Because currently you are in the biggest city in South Africa right now. Is it the biggest or Egoli, where the money is made?
Yeah.
So is it still the same when you go back home and looking back, whether it's flashbacks or reminiscing? Do you still feel like it still holds the same culture and the same values as it did before?
Okay, thank you very much. I think, my brother, let me first and foremost appreciate the platform.
Ngiyabonga, Puto.
I'm appreciating it primarily because I took a decision that I'm not going to be doing any podcast.
Is it?
Yeah. When these things came,
Yeah.
I said, I'm not going to be part of this.
Yeah.
One of the reasons is that generally I don't like camera.
Okay.
I don't like speaking in front of the camera. I'm not just comfortable with it. And I was convinced by close associates, patriots close to me, that no, you need, the world is moving.
Yeah.
The world is developing.
Yeah.
It's either you shape up or you ship out. It's either you adapt or die.
Yeah.
Be part of you have to go when you get a platform, and because this is a platform for the fourth, which comes with the fourth industrial revolution, part of the technologies in time. So we need to adapt.
Sure.
And I'm happy because it's one of the podcasts led by young men.
Yeah.
That's what is close to me.
Yeah.
That is why I'm here. When I start visiting such podcasts, I think the second one it's the second time appearing in the podcast ever since I was born.
Wow.
After the decision, I'm here in Limpopo.
Wow.
But also, it's also a Limpopo podcast.
Yeah.
Limpopo, am I pronouncing it?
Limpopo.
Limpopo.
Yeah.
Limpopo. Because I remember
I understand.
there was a lady who corrected me when I came and said, only Limpopo. It's Limpopo. So, being a Zulu and taking out my podcast virginity in a Limpopo podcast.
Wow.
It's such a huge for me. It's such a great pleasure. We want tribes to blend together.
Yeah, for sure.
We want tribes to fall in love with each other. We want tribes to unite with each other. We want tribes to push and see themselves that before you are a Zulu, you are black. That should be the message. So I'm proud to say that
African,
yes.
Yeah.
So I'm proud to take my podcast virginity at LiPo podcast. I wish you well. May it grow.
Nah, it's growing.
And
the fact that you came and but Zulu, see what do you call it? Blessing, man. Oh.
Zakhala.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah. So ukubuyela nje kumbuzo wakho mfowethu, enye into engifuna ukuyisho futhi awunako sengikhohlwa. Enye into. Ngifike nezincwadi.
Okay.
Nazi zo 3. Yibi camera engishuthayo. Ufuna la camera ashuthe kahle. Shoot incwadi, shoot. Zo 3.
Okay.
Zo 3. Le ayibhaliwe ke ngaphandle. Ayibhaliwe kodwa uMahatma Gandhi.
Yeah, I see the man, yeah.
Yeah, I went to the library and with my library card and borrowed it. I'm reading on Mahatma Gandhi. You know why ngiphethe le incwadi?
Okay.
Because we want to change a culture. We want to draw back young people into the culture of reading.
Okay.
We want books to be fashionable. We want, when we meet, me and you, when we discuss, part of the discussions we should have, it's which book are you currently reading? What did you find on that book? So carrying books must be something which is fashionable.
Yeah.
We must discuss about that.
Yeah.
And when I carried them when I entered, put them on my table, and I wanted to hammer you here on your podcast. I thought you were not going to take notice of these books.
No,
you're going to ask me other questions, and you disappointed me because you asked me, what are those books? Can I come close? I have met many young people.
Yeah.
When you enter carrying a book, they don't care.
Yeah.
But when you enter carrying a latest iPhone Plus, they come, what kind of a phone? Let me see. You look nice. That book you are carrying, you won't even look at it.
Yeah.
It's not even interested on the title. So we must return to the basics of reading.
Yeah.
Read everything, especially in the knowledge where you want to master. If you are in the entertainment, read about entertainment.
Yeah.
If you are in politics, read about politics.
If podcast,
check
Yeah.
when was the first time podcaster. I don't want to ask any questions because maybe your knowledge is not that deep, so
Yeah.
I might
Manje,
render you useless on your podcast.
The interview is the other way around.
Yeah, so but we want to. It must not be difficult when you ask a podcaster who was the first podcaster in the world. Which country was it? What year was it? And how long was the first podcast?
Sure.
What was the topic? What motivated people from them to flood into the podcast to build an alternative media from the mainstream media?
Yeah.
You should be well aware of such things. So I'm saying, with us reading, it assists us to build the quality of young people. It assists us to build young people with content. Not young people who are just fly by night. Zibek, this is Gayton McKenzie, His Excellency President of the PA. These books are relatable. You can read them because they speak about social issues. They speak about his journey. In subtopics, speaks about loyalty, things that you can relate to. The loyalty, what does loyalty means? Speaks about perseverance. So those are the books that are relatable. The other one is Mahatma Gandhi. Other black people will ask me, why am I reading about him? Yeah, because he had some undertones of being racist for that matter. Is it? But you won't know because he's celebrated highly. When Mahatma Gandhi came into South Africa, he made it clear that he's fighting for Indian people. For Indian people to be liberated against the apartheid government, from apartheid government. Yeah. And he said he's fighting for Indian people because the apartheid government classifies Indian people as black people as kafirs. And Indians are not kafirs. Instead of him to say, I'm fighting for everyone who's oppressed. He said, no, I'm only fighting for Indians not to be classified as kafirs. Kafirs are fine like that, but I'm just fighting for my own people. So he was a narrow Indian nationalist. He has his limitations, but also he had some good leadership qualities, which I also draw from the book while I'm reading.
So figala. Let's tap into your own life.
Yeah, the ancestors are speaking through me. I'm preaching. Our responsibility is to educate.
Yeah, that's true.
So we're at Umlazi. The more things change, the more they stay the same. That's one of the things I can tell you. I was not, if you say I was born in Umlazi, my life has been very tricky and very dynamic. Born in King Edward, which was in town. By that time when I was born, there was the classification that black people must go to Prince Mshieni, which was a black hospital. Then white can go to King Edward. So being born by a woman who's a fighter, she went by force to King Edward, admitted herself, and she gave birth to me in that hospital. So my birth was a bit privileged birth because I was born in a hospital that was designed for us, for black people. Yeah. So I went there, was born there. But my father was also working here in Johannesburg. Okay. Staying in Alexandra. So I quickly moved with my mother to come in and stay with my father in Alexandra and my mother. Then from there, in Alexandra, the ANC, IFP killings began. When Xhosa and Zulus, which was ANC, IFP, there were huge killings which happened. Then from there, we had to run back to KwaZulu-Natal. So when I ran back to KwaZulu-Natal, I went to my father's homestead because my father was a ruralitarian with a strong rural background. Okay. And I stayed there in Inkandla. I think I was about 3, 4.
Inkandla, is it the same Inkandla?
Same. Now, my place at home, when I'm from home, I walk to Zuma's homestead. Like literally walk.
I've got a question for you about Zuma, but Sophia. Okay. Yeah.
So I stayed there. I think I was 4 or 5. Then went back to Durban again. 6, 7, 8. Then went back to Nkandla, stayed there also in Nkandla again. 8, 9, 10, 11. Then went to stay in Pietermaritzburg when I was doing grade 8 until grade 10. Then went back to stay in Umlazi again when I was doing grade 10 until I started my first university. Then frequenting when I was old now, frequenting between Kandla and Durban.
Okay.
Then I'm here now.
Now,
so you can't classify me as Umlazi.
Or
but the more things change,
the
more they stay the same.
Wow.
But in fact, now they are no longer in the same. They are even getting worse. Because when I grew up in Umlazi, there were shops which were owned by Abubab Masibo. Those shops are now owned by Somalians. They were in the township. There were less people in the township who were in Wunga. There's a drug in Durban which is called Wunga. There were less people who are in Wunga. Now you find more young people that are smoking that thing in the township. When we were young in Umlazi, you will hardly see someone who's called a para. A para is a street kid. A para is those who stay on the street, hobos.
Okay.
In the correct term of English. Manje kugcwele amaphara eThekwini. So the things are getting a bit worse than they were. Young people are not making it. Opportunities in the rural and in the townships are not there. Rurals, townships are ignored. They don't find it in the mainstream, especially rural areas. Majority of young people in the rural areas, the most best talent die. It's where dreams go to die in the rural homestead.
Yeah.
So the more things change, they stay the same and they get a little bit worse.
Now you move into universities. In university, are you doing university in eThekwini or in Johannesburg, and what are you doing?
Are you saying previously or now?
From when you started university?
I started long time ago. I was young. I even worked then. I'm done with university now.
Okay.
I'm still studying, remember?
Yeah. That's where the VITS thing came about.
That's where it comes in. I believe in the life of academia. I believe that you should accumulate knowledge as much as you can.
Yeah.
In fact, the more I read, the more I realize that there are many things I don't know. That's what happens when you read.
Yeah. That's true.
You think that you know. After finishing a book, you think that you know.
Yeah.
When you read another book, you only realize, there's another knowledge that you're not exposed to. So that's how it came by. But currently I'm pursuing law with vets.
Okay.
Because I think I finished my studies at UKZN.
Okay.
Around 2017, 18 there.
Yeah.
Then I was working under Cocta. Then I was found guilty.
I'm coming
in 2019. Sentenced to house arrest. Then I got a pardon from Sir Ramaphosa. Then I said, let me go pursue law. Because with law, you can be independent. I saw how easily I was dealt with in the public sector because I was found guilty for fees must fall and I was thrown out. Now, when I'm a lawyer, I'm a qualified lawyer and I'm practicing as an advocate, you are not going to throw me out easily like that. So I wanted something which will be independent and I pursued law. And I wished I knew what I knew at an earlier age because I could have started with law and pursued it. But coming to you now, I'm from writing.
Yeah, I think you told me that. Yeah. Now, you broke out into the space of media and everybody now started knowing who Bonginkosi is during the Fees Must Fall campaign. And from what we have read, from what we know, is that is when you got arrested. Now, I want you to walk us through that journey? What really happened, and how has it been like for you to go through that journey of being arrested for basically maybe fighting for something that should have been yeah.
Okay. The journey was quite difficult, but remember when I'm a political activist. So when you're a political activist, from time to time, you are told that whatever political action you take, it has consequences. And some of the consequences might be dire, might be very difficult. So at an early age, when we were young, during those times when we were young, we already had the knowledge of such. We also studied about those who came before us, who were fighting for us, like your Solomon Kadushi Mahlango, your El Shekril, your Tsietsi Mashinini, your Anton Muzwake Lembede, your AP Mda, your Mxolisi Majombozi. You can name them. Who suffered? Others were hanged. Who said freedom in our lifetime, fighting for all of us to be free. So you have all this political education. And I'm going to tell you why I'm giving you that history, which will make you understand how was my psyche when I was behind the bars. Now we are on NSFAS. We look at the state of education. Education is very expensive in the university. For instance, at VETS, currently, if you want to have like accommodation, pay for your fees, and meals and books, it's 250,000 for you.
And at that time, you're coming from KZN or Limpopo.
In Zanin, in a remote, isolated area. I'm saying Zanin because you are from there.
Yeah.
I'm hammering you. In Zanin, you are a Rotarian with a strong rural background. After heading Keckles, you find yourself at VETS. So automatically, you are going to get financially excluded. Now we sit down, we look at the logic. Mandela says after prison in 94, education can be used as the liberation, as a tool to liberate the poor. But when you go to universities, education becomes expensive. So it means only the rich will have access to this education. Only the rich will be in the better chances to become doctors, to become lawyers, to become engineers, to become accountants in the best universities. Which therefore will mean the rich will get more richer and the poorer will get more poor. Then we said, no, there's something wrong here. We went back to history. We looked at the Freedom Charter. The Freedom Charter, they said the doors of learning shall be opened for all. We went back to history. We looked at the generation of black people in 1944, led by Anton Lembede. They said they want access to education to be made for all. We looked at our current conditions. We said, no, even the poorest of the poor must be able to access education. Your poverty must not be a barrier of you to become a better person.
True.
If you are intellectually sound, if you are committed enough, if you have a zeal and you are hungry for education, you should be able to access education. But we also looked at the manifesto of Mandela in 1994 when he was campaigning. He said in his manifesto, free education for all. We then came together and said, the struggle for free education must be pursued now. We want free education now. That's when we were engaged in the struggle to close the gate, saying fees must fall. If you qualify, you must enter in the university. But we also said the education we are taught must also be liberated. When we say free education, we say free in terms of its content. What you are taught, it must be liberating education. But also it must be free in terms of its monetary value. You need not to pay for education. Because we believe that any country that does not take care of its youth does not deserve its future. We were taught by O.R. Tambo. We believe that if I'm a doctor, I'm not a doctor of the Khanyile. I'm a doctor of a nation. So a nation must give me skills. If I'm a lawyer, I'm not a lawyer of the Khanyile, I'm a lawyer of a nation. If I'm an engineer, if I'm a scientist, I'm that of a nation. For a nation to progress, it needs young people with skills so that it can compete in the global world superpowers. For it to compete, it needs its citizens with skills. So the nation has a responsibility of educating young people. When we had that struggle, we were faced with many difficulties. Pseudo-academics, black middle class, those who think they are smart.
Yeah.
You know, a person that just rocks up because he has a nice salary then thinks you are smart without any ideas in your head. You have never read even one book in your life. You have no ideas. Your only source of information is Twitter and Facebook. Then you want to argue in national issues like free education. We faced such issues. Many of them, they were saying, how are you going to pay for electricity in universities? How are you going to ensure that lecturers are paid who are teaching you? But we said we have a solution. Put a free education tax where the rich introduce it, where the rich are taxed for education. And when you make education free, it must not be free for the poor. It must be free for everyone.
Yeah.
Whether you are rich or poor, you must go. If you pass Excel, there's a space, you go, you study, you finish.
Yeah.
But there must be a tax specifically for free education and specifically for the rich. When we tax you, we don't tax you because you have a child or not. By virtue, you must know that if you are a South African citizen and a patriot, you have a responsibility of educating your nation. Pay that free education tax. Government fought with us. Sent police across the country. We fought back, shut down all campuses until President Zuma, he was still the president by that time. He went on the national TV and said there won't be any fee increment.
Yeah.
Fast forward, in 2017, I think, 2017, in December, before the conference of the ANC, he then went on a national TV and declared free education. He then said, you can now study for free.
Yeah.
But before that all happened, we became victims. Myself, I was fetched. I think it was on Tuesday. On campus, we shut down on our campus for a week. The second week, on Tuesday, the police arrested me around 11.
Midday.
During the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. They shot me. I still have a scar here.
Wow. Rubber bullet or?
It's a stun grenade. And shot me. I ran. I was hiding in the roof there at university. And I hope I won't get arrested when these things come out. Because I was running from this pompous. I ran, I was hiding. So while hiding, I thought, okay, I was leading the protest in the forefront.
Yeah.
So when the commander disappears, the soldiers get demoralized.
Yeah.
Then the students, they were dispersed. Then the police left, I thought.
Yeah.
Kanti, they have not left. There are private police who are wearing private clothes, who are patrolling. They know I've not left the building. They are waiting. Now, where I'm hiding, I'm bleeding. And it's more painful. I'm hit with a 2-stun grenade. I'm bleeding. I took my t-shirt, then cut it, then tried to close. The bleeding is not stopping. I stayed maybe 2 hours. Then I said, no, now it's around 11. 11:30, let me go and seek for medical help.
Yeah.
While I go out, there are these clowns outside carrying guns. They are chasing me. They are calling me by name.
Yo!
Called the back up. I ran for my life. Ran. Came with dogs. Came after me. Then I was caught. Put in the van. Taken to a police station. When I arrived in the police station, the station commander said, no, we can't charge him now. He must go get medical help. Went to Eddington Hospital on what do you call this?
Handcuffs.
Go to Eddington Hospital. Then they gave me stitches, gave me painkillers, gave me antibiotics. Then I came back. Then they charged me. Then they sent me to Westville prison. Then from there,
So you know the feeling of being in prison.
I know. I stayed there for 6 months, fighting for bail, because I was arrested around September. Then I came out the following year in March. So my case went to regional court, high court, Supreme Court, and I was released from Constitutional Court, the highest court of the land. So seated here, you are not sitting with a clown. I have credentials, the struggle credentials. In a post-democratic dispensation, there's no politician who has been released in the high court. It's only me and President Zuma in this country. Mandela never went to Constitutional Court. Sobu never went to Constitutional Court. It's only me and Zuma who have went to Constitutional Court. We don't like to get arrested and to be in and out of prison. But when they try to break you, after you survived, you must take pride in it. We conquered them. We came out of prison feeling much more stronger when we could have broke down. In fact, I wrote my final exam because I was a final year student by then in prison. And I passed all of them. So when I came out, I was rocking my graduation gown and saying, yeah, man, I'm a judge. And I go there and I say, I made it. So I wrote my final exams inside the prison hall, inside the prison cells. They will fetch me handcuffed on the legs, take me there. I write, then I passed. Then I graduated. When they released me, I was graduating.
So in there, you never found people who tried to maybe abuse you like we normally know in prison, like physically abuse you, rape you probably. None of that.
None of that happened to me. But there was an abuse, especially from the police officers. Because when I came in, the police officers, I was alone arrested. I want to meet that guy, that police officer in Westville prison. Literally pushed me. Go in. You're fighting with police officers outside. You think you're clever. I'm not going to put you in a protection cells. They are protection cells.
Okay.
Which are there in prison.
Yeah.
I'll put you with hardcore criminals with the 26 so that you can stop thinking that you are smart. You are clever.
So you...
Then they sent me inside. I was traumatized.
You were with the 26?
26. Inside. I was traumatized when I entered there. But I survived. I had to adapt inside. Adapt
to the conditions,
But luckily, because I stayed in Umlas, I also had a bit of knowledge how to behave. Like I had the basics of the 26. That you don't want a boy who eats too much when you go to prison. You can't be asking everyone for food. You can't go to prison. You are in prison where now you laugh with everyone. You want to make friends. When you are in prison, you must stick to your prison ticket. Keep quiet. And don't, when we are here inside the jail cells, where now you are busy eating. You are busy laughing at everyone's joke. You don't do that. Because you expose yourself into these things of rape, into assault, into everything. You must keep quiet. And when other prisoners, they ask you questions, you must respond as aggressive as they ask. When they said, what arrested? Why are you here inside? Don't just say, no, I was stealing sweets. Because what prisoners do, they ask you your why are you?
Why were you arrested?
So they can then measure you, what kind of a person you are.
Oh, that's how they gauge you.
So they see, you're arrested for assaulting your wife. So they can see, you are a target. You're arresting for stealing clothes. At Woolworth. You are then you are arrested for what? So they look at those things. When they ask you, you must be as aggressive as you can. It's a survival of the fittest. It's either you eat or you get eaten. All bridges are burned.
Do you think a person like me can survive there? By just looking at me?
You can. You can.
The one turned
All of
into
us-
Maria.
They can turn you if you continue like this to be a gentleman. I feel like you're a gentleman when you're a sweet guy. Yes. There you can't be sweet.
Yeah.
You can't be a gentleman there. You can't be sweet.
Yeah.
When they ask you why are you arrested, the first thing is, why are you asking me? When he does that and you stand up, you approach him and be ready to fight. Anyway, you must just fight. Because if you don't fight, they will do all funny things. It's better if you fight them, even when you lose a fight, they respect you.
Now, why were you now forced to... I think this was after you were released or granted bail, I'm not sure. But you were forced to now report in every Monday and Friday.
Okay, that's the recent part.
Oh.
Then I'm arrested.
Okay.
I come out. I remember I was fighting for bail for 6 months.
Yeah.
Not the case. Then I lost the case. I was found guilty. That I was the one who was responsible for violence. That I was the one who was responsible for the assault of the police officers. That I was the one who was responsible to organize students and fight. Then I was put under house arrest.
Okay.
For 3 years. That you are in a house arrest.
What does that mean?
Stay in your house. Don't go out. Don't drink any intoxicating substances. That is alcohol. That is a cigarette. That is marijuana. Don't have any intoxicating substances. Don't have more than 2 visitors at once. Every day, a police officer will come and say that you are still at your home.
And
so
then in the house...
arrested in your household at your own home.
So in your own home, if you're not allowed to have more than 2 visitors, what about the people that you stay with?
The people that you stay with, they are not the case of the law.
Okay.
You, if they come, then they find me. I'm at home. Then I'm with 3 friends of mine. And all of them, they are there on my name.
Yeah.
Ziyakhala same time.
Oh.
Straight to Hoshimampuru president. They don't even talk.
Yeah.
They fetch you are in.
Yeah.
So you can't. Also, I went argued there. I said, but what if there's a traditional ceremony and you say I'm not supposed to drink? So I can't drink mqombothi. They said no. I can't drink mqombothi. I tell them, what if I have 2 women at once? I'm a polygamous man.
Are you?
I can't have 2 women.
Are you?
My wives. They said,
are you?
No, you can't. Hey, but why are you exposed? Yeah, but I am. I believe in polygamy, my brother.
Oh, okay.
I'm clear.
Oh,
but
okay.
now you'll push women away.
I won't go deep into it.
When you approach a woman, you don't tell her that you are a polygamous man.
Yeah.
She runs away. Our fathers taught us well that you first approach her, she agrees.
She settles down.
Then when you have conquered your ground,
you
then introduce this topic. I'm a polygamous man.
So how do they teach you? Okay, let's go into it. What do you do? Because you guys are prominently known for that. Like Zulus, you know what? One is not enough.
No, you are taught at home. When you are taught entering into manhood, when you are taught about your cultural values, for instance, for you to have 2 wives, 3 wives, it's not just because you love women. Sometimes you have to marry for the others who have passed on in your family. That these women. In fact, do you know that when you marry, when I build a household, the Khanyile house, when I buy a house, it's not my house. It's my father's house.
Okay.
My house, I will have it with my son or my sons. So that is why we'll say, we call our umus imizi, like our houses, the house normally in a English culture. Your house is your house. But my house is my father's house.
Okay.
Even that's how it's registered, even with the ancestors, as my father's house. Even the wives are building the father's house. Then my children will build my house. Even when you marry a wife for the family, not for yourself, that is my wife. So,
but Oksala, she sleeps with you, not them.
Definitely. So when you marry them, there must be something which your ancestors might say that, okay, we need this wife for this particular cultural ancestral demand, which is there. Then depending, because our ancestors, they operate in different, and we have different things that are missing. We might be all Zulus, but others, you find that all 3 grandfathers were not married.
Yeah.
So all that burden comes into you.
Okay.
So, yeah.
This journey, you getting arrested and all that turmoil, do you think it kind of delayed your future? Or do you think it shaped you into the person that you are today?
It did everything. It shaped me. It shaped me. It also delayed me. It also, of course, transformed me into another person. Remember when I told you initially, when I explained that as a political activist, you are made to learn your history, to see what others went through. It what carried me when I was inside prison. It what made me not to break. Because by then I was young. Now I'm old now. Nothing you can do to me. You can't scare me with anything, nothing at all. You can say hawks are out here. I can say, okay, where are they? They say we are taking to Hoshimampuro prison. I'll drive in.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'm fine.
Yeah.
But then I was still young. What carried me not to collapse? It was because I understood that Solomon Magshang was arrested at a tender age and hanged. So if he can do that in the name of liberating the people of his country, is this imprisonment for me? If it's not me who's in prison, for others to have access to education, who must be in prison?
Yeah.
If all those black leaders we praise today never collapsed while fighting for us, what kind of a leader would I collapse if I'm fighting for others? Even when others were telling us that, no, you are wasting your time, I will tell you a very a funny story when I was there in prison. You can understand Zulu, Musa?
Yes.
I go there into prison. I'm now recruiting them. Ne? Because when I stayed,
so wherever you stay, from my understanding, you like mobilizing.
That's what we only live for, the ideas and the revolution. That's what we live for.
Okay.
We must educate. Everywhere we go, we need to educate.
Yeah.
Even in a beer hall, when I come, I buy you 2 beers, 3 beers.
Yeah.
We cannot finish those beers without speaking about issues of national importance.
Yeah.
Without speaking about the black existential condition.
Nice.
And without speaking about the future of our children in our country.
Yeah.
I don't drink.
Okay.
I don't smoke.
Yeah.
I don't drink alcohol. I tried it. Then when I learned about it more, I saw this thing is not for a black person.
You were still telling me about the story.
And I don't smoke. I've never tried it.
Yeah.
I don't even touch Habli. In fact, Habli is the most thing that I've never understood.
Yeah.
You know, with Habli, maybe you'll make me learn this thing. A beautiful girl.
Yeah.
We are rocking up the club.
Yeah.
We're in charge, we have money. Will refuse. Even it doesn't matter how much I have. I cannot just go and say, can I have a kiss? Can I come, kiss me? She'll do those things.
Yeah.
I buy a Habli.
6
pipes. We are together. Please give me a pipe. She gives willingly. I mur. I give it back. She takes. What's happening? Why would be deep kissing each other? Even literal as males, I can share a pipe with you.
Yeah.
But I can't kiss you. Okay, I don't know. I don't know whether you can kiss me because now you can't look at a person and judge whether he's a guy or not.
Yeah.
You are past those things. You'll be told that you are
with this
homophobic.
day and age, yeah.
Now gender, the people are telling you that gender I tell you what I am, you don't tell me.
Yeah.
So I've never understood from that level. There was even a video on Twitter where a lady, they were in a club. She was doing a blue job. Someone was on the camera looking at her, doing a quick blue job there. Then she went straight to others that are sitting, enjoying themselves.
Yeah.
And she asked for the pipe.
And then
smoked. and she passed that video was trending, but people never stopped smoking happily. So I never smoked that thing, but I do stay. I do go to clubs.
Yeah, okay.
I do have fun with young people.
Yeah.
But where I meet them, we can speak about cars, speak about beautiful women, speak about beautiful houses, speak about everything, but we must not finish our conversation without speaking about the knowledge of self and the knowledge of the future of our country. That is why I'm saying
the story.
Everywhere we go, we are teaching. You are saying?
The story you wanted to tell me, and you asked me if I do understand Zulu.
Oh.
Yes.
So I go in there. I will speak like they were speaking.
Yeah.
So I'm recruiting them, explaining why am I arrested. But hey, for it. So is the one who was in charge of the prison where we arrested.
Oh,
we were 16 ourselves, like almost this size.
16 here.
Yeah. No, we sleep like that.
Okay.
Prisons are overpopulated. So he says, hey, bafethu. Hey, fethu. Abajad fethu. Hey, shayisa lana bafethu. Angizweni lo muntu lo bafethu. Hey, lo mjida mfethu uthi uboshiwe. Yezwa. Uyazi uboshweleni. Uboshelwe ukuthi yena uyageleza esigele, uyezwa. Ukhokhile esigela. Kodwa manje njengoba ekhokhile esigela, ufune ezinye izingane zizogeleza zona. Zifike esigela zingakhokhi. Zona zigeleze mahala ngaphandle kokukhokha. Yena ulwela ukuthi ezinye zizogeleza zingakhokhi, kodwa yena ukhokhile. Embe lo mjida lona uyibophile lo. Yazi uyayibopha wena uyahlala ngawe wena. Hey, now these prisoners they come to me. Hey mfowethu, uqinisile ngempela? Wena uboshelwa wena ukuthi wena esigela ukhokhile.
Yeah.
Waqeda ukukhokha usuyageleza, usulanda abanye ukuthi bona bezogeleza kodwa bona bengakhokhi bona. Uboshele lokho. Ngithi akuthiwa wena uyayibophisa, uthi wena uyakhula wena. Kuthiwa lo mjida uyagula, yazi wena uhlanya ngempela. Le politiki yakhe iyakuhlanyisa mfethu. Yazi yakusanganisa le politiki yakho. Uzejele wena ukuthi uzele ukuthi abantu bona bangakhokhi, wena ukukhokhile. Then I had to explain the importance of access to higher education. And also explain they are in prison and they never got opportunities because of the system. Because many of them, they blame their ancestors, they blame themselves. Yes, it's when we indezela, when we bophe wena. So it's like that. But we won half of the majority of the people.
Yeah,
we were arrested with. When I left, they could now believe. They could even understand why things happen as they are.
Sure.
Why are they in jail? In my cell, all of us were black. In my block, C block, all of us. They could understand that. That why there are no Afrikaners, why there are no Indians, why it's only us and the coloreds who are there.
Sure.
And they could now, with us engaging with them, they were able now to move away from the fact that no, black people are generally criminals. They are inherently, they are just born like that. They could understand now that the system sometimes can create
divisions.
We can become what we are because of the system. Remember, there's one philosopher who says, one greatest philosopher, it is not the conscience of a man that determines his social existence, but the social existence of a man determines his consciousness. So you are a product of your surrounding. You are a product of what you are exposed to.
Yeah.
You cannot grow beyond the environment you are exposed to.
Nhlanhla speaks
now
of that.
We are in the world of social media. Also, social media can be one of your world. So that is why it's very important as young people to be deliberate on the content we consume.
Yeah.
Be intentional on the content you consume.
Yeah.
You can't be a young person who consume everything. So you must be deliberate. What kind of a content am I consuming?
True.
In which content do I spend my time on? Because you cannot be above the environment and the conditions you expose. The conditions shape who you are.
Yeah, I love
You were saying Tlanta did what?
And Ntantala spoke highly about, the environment actually
You come from.
Yeah, it plays a big role in what you actually get to become,
He was telling the truth.
Yeah.
You can't be beyond
what you are exposed to.
What you're exposed to. Don't let them fool you and say, no, someone, Siya Kolisi, came from the poor where there was no, then you can make it.
Yeah.
No, there's no such. He came from a poor background, but Siya Kolisi had to be exposed
First.
to some of the world, to some part of the world. It's humanly impossible for Siya Kolisi to be exposed in the world where there are no other. He has no access to anything. Then he becomes the world's superstar.
Yeah.
They must not tell you that. They must not say, but look at Zuma. He hails from the deep rural areas of Inkandla, and now he made it as the president. So don't put ideas of your environment. Don't be negative about your environment. You can also make it. Because some people, they want to blame the victims of the system and blame them directly as if they are the ones who are the cause of themselves. For President Zuma to become what he became, he had to be exposed somewhere, one way or the other, to a different platform than that closed as it closed in Nkandla. We stay in the same surrounding.
Yeah.
I know that place. There are many smart men and women who are there, who their dreams have been deferred, their visions blood, their capabilities and talents destroyed just by the environment of not coming out of that area. So the environment shapes who you become. That is why even whatever that I've went through, even myself, it shaped me.
Yeah.
I was not always like this.
Yeah.
I was not always like this.
You were
but
shaped,
now we are confrontational leaders. We are extremely confident about ourselves. We can just turn into a fighting mood immediately when you try us.
Yeah.
Because we have been made by the system to be like this.
Yeah.
If we never went through the things that we've went through, maybe we could have just been one of those people who apologize for everything, even just for looking at you.
Now, as a former member of, I'm very much, just from the discussions that we've been having now, it rings bell that, you are so politically informed as well.
Yes.
And you are politically active.
Yes.
As a former member of the EFF, why do you think you were expelled from the party? Do you think it is because of, your ideas, or was it because of maybe you somehow defied the commands that you were given?
So we're blessed in this podcast. Khanyile isigwili, Khanyile unemali. Ngiphuza ijuice, ngiphuza amanzi ngala.
Everything, man.
Ngiphumelele ngisamncane, ngiyazenzela. Siyajabula ngeLiPO.podcast ukuthi sinike uChristmas ngobani ngo-April.
I like
ngiphuza ijuice namanzi same time.
I like the way you guys say what is it? Christmas. Ukhismus.
Siyajabuza la ngifuna bangibone ngasekhaya kaZulu ukuthi hayi sengiphumelele. Ngaya ku-podcast ngaphuza ijuice namanzi same time. Uyedwa umfana ukwazi
a cup of tea nya.
Akushodile ukhunya ngishodi itiye.
Yeah.
Ngimese ngiba namakhekhe ngibe nenyama. Mese ngiyabatshela ukuthi uyedwa kuphela umfana kaZulu okwaphuza itiye namanzi namakhekhe nejuice same time kwi-limpopo.podcast. So I never got the reasons why was I
expelled.
I heard through the SG of the party that I'm not a member, which we are not members. Those ones are not members. With my other a brother who Pilani, were chased out of the organization. Never got a platform. Never got to be explained why. Never told why. But I don't think it's that of a big deal.
Yeah.
I think it was part of the growth.
Yeah.
I think maybe it needed because other things they happen in life as part of your journey.
Yeah, true that.
You might think at that moment because it's happening and you don't understand it, and you might think that it's not supposed to happen. Only to find out that it's what is supposed to happen for you to become a better version of yourself.
I think I've experienced that a lot. Yeah.
So now you can see, I was gone long time ago.
Yeah.
Now I'm looking at the proper. I'm sharp, looking fresh, looking nice, looking smarter than my idols.
Yeah.
I'm literally looking fresher than all my idols.
So when you were there, what did you learn? Like politically?
Part of the things we learned was to build the organization because we participated in that organization when it was still finding its roots.
Yeah.
Especially in KwaZulu-Natal, when majority of the people in KwaZulu-Natal never understood it, said it was an organization for someone from Limpopo who's rude, who has no respect for the elders.
Yeah.
But when they saw more of us coming in the organization, and when we were taught how to build, how to recruit, how to build structures of the organization, many joined, and we also learned in the process. So primarily, it was the question of grounding the organization with the people. Yeah.
Your hairstyle, is it politically or culturally influenced?
Both. When I grew up, I used to cut all my hair.
Okay.
In fact, we've fought many times when they will tell me, you are ugly. My woman will tell me that initially when I started this hairstyle, because I used to do chiscop.
Okay.
So when I gain the consciousness of self, the knowledge of self, then I refuse to cut. You'll never see me cutting chiscop anytime soon. I must first have impandla, maybe then I'll have a reason to cut my hair. We all grew up cutting the hair as a chiscop, thinking it's normal. That's how you should be.
Yeah, as a man.
As a man. Then I learned the history. Then I understood how we became like that. Then I went back and said, no more. I'm no more cutting my hair. I'm leaving my hair like this. Yeah. And I even went further to open a line in my head as an inspiration, inspired by the leaders who have led before us. Your Patrice Lubumba. Google him there. When you find time, you'll see him.
Yeah.
He has the same hairstyle, it's just that mine looks much more fresher than his. He was during the apartheid era. Nelson Mandela. Yeah. He had the same hairstyle, just that mine is more massive than his. It's the
I love the confidence. Yeah.
What rocking up? It's O.R. Tambo.
Yeah.
I told you, Musa, I look fresher than all my idols. So it was when I discovered the consciousness of self.
Yeah.
To brief you a bit, when you come from rural areas, there was forced labor. White people never had people to work for them in the mines. Then they introduced something as poll tax. In the Zulu language, it's called Ukanda Pondo.
Okay.
Where people were forced to pay tax so that they will have a need to go work for money. Because by that time, they had cattle and had everything.
Yeah.
They never needed money. So when they come to the cities to work for in the mines and for white people as garden boys and kitchen girls, you'll come to something which is called e-dip. E-dip libizwa ngani ngesikisi? E-dip.
Describe.
I'm sure you'll know it by the kettles where they go.
Oh, it's
so that they can English can become a problem.
What? So the wash off?
Yes. Where there's chemicals there, then the cows you take them there then.
Ish.
But they were dipped.
Yeah.
It's in Zulu deep.
Okay.
I-deep land deep akona imoto inkomo nihambe niyoyideep.
Okay. Car wash.
Yes, car wash. But you put chemicals edipini,
Yeah.
ufake inkomo khona uyayidipha. Nawe ndoda ngemuva lapha idipha ulazi ngesingisi.
I'm supposed to be answering that, but I'm failing.
So also men and women were done that. They would have a place where they put chemicals.
Yeah.
Then they cut them, everything.
Okay.
They like open your zip, look whether don't you have infections.
Yeah.
Then they put you where there are chemicals, cut all the hair. Then you pass. You can then get your permit and go work in the house of whatever white man that has hired you. So it became part of our culture.
Yeah.
Initially, they were forced to do
But
that.
then
they will force you, take you.
Yeah.
Even they will come when you are in the hostels. They will come maybe once a month. Those who are not cutting, all of them, by force, they cut all their hair because they said your hair was unhygienic.
Yeah.
Your hair was dirty. Your hair was
not hygiene. Yeah.
Yes. So with time, it then became part of our being, part of our culture. Now, you are told by your mother at home that cut your hair, you look ugly. It then went further to education system. The teachers will tell that, no, go cut your hair because that's why they've been socialized, that your hair is dirty. But when you look at the white people, Indians and other races, they don't cut their hair.
They keep it.
They leave their hair. In fact, when you see a white man with a cheese cob, it's like he has some cancer or what. Because it's not naturalized on us that they can cut their hair. They love their hair. So our forefathers, they also kept our hair because they said keeping the hair was a protest.
Yeah.
Like keeping your hair was most of those who fought before us, they kept their hair as a sign of protest. Now, I also came to the consciousness of self. I loved my hair. I'm not cutting it because I look much more fresh. So I'm also campaigning you, keep your hair, my brother. Don't cut it. Do any style you want it, but don't say to your children and your brothers that they must go because they must cut because they are ugly. They must only cut if they so
feel like
wish.
It.
But not because they think they are ugly. Our hair is very beautiful.
Yeah. Moving to the 2021 unrest. I think you were very much in the forefront of mobilizing people to go and protest against the arrest of Jacob Zuma, the former president. The reason why you were doing that, were you doing that because you found it unfair, or was it because you are what we call a banga?
A binga.
A binga or banga, yeah.
Okay. The fundamental reason was that it was unfair on him.
Yeah.
He never deserved such.
Is it?
It was the question of the constitution.
Yeah.
You can't just arrest a person on the basis that he has not appeared in the commission, and you jail him.
The Zondo Commission, yeah.
The Zondo Commission.
Yeah.
There are many legal debates around it, but I feel that how it was handled, it was extremely unfair and uncalled for. And also that we must be, as a nation and as young leaders, how you judge a nation, it's how a nation treats its elderly citizens. You can't just take a 79-year-old and send him straight to prison for the failure of appearing in a commission. It's just a petty. Let me say it was criminal for him not to go. Let's qualify it as criminal. Yeah. Let's say it's criminal. Then it's petty criminality. Why can't you put him under house arrest? They did it to me for 3 years. Why can't you put him under house arrest and say you're not allowed to leave this house we'll put the police here up until we finish with the case. You do it a Hollywood style. You send vans and cameras and media. You put him. It's all over there, the news. That's not justice. You know, what does law say? It says justice must not only be done, but it must be seen to be done. So when you have committed a crime, a judge or a magistrate, a prosecutor, a magistrate, when they hand out, put those sanctions, that judgment against you.
Yeah.
What they want to achieve is that they achieve justice, but justice must not only be done, it must be seen to be done. When we are looking at your case, following that we've done this crime, the sentence they give you, it must also convince us that indeed this is justice.
Yeah.
Not a witch hunt, which was done. So we said no. For a failure to appear in a Zondo commission, you send an old man straight to prison. This is not justice. This is not seen to be justice. Many things, he could be fined 500,000. You failed to appear, we fine you 500,000, then appear on the next time. Not that and you failed to appear the next thing, we send you to prison. So we stood against such. We fought for it. I was then arrested again in prison, fought for bail hard, came out of that bail conditions till today. I must sign on Monday and sign on Friday.
That's the one.
That's the one. Not that time. I'm signing now, currently. Before
even
I came
now.
here, I started by signing. I signed Monday, Friday. If I don't sign, they come straight, they fetch me. They don't even talk. You have broken your bail conditions, they send you inside.
So you're still gonna, the case is still going on?
Still going on. So we are still looking at whether they are going to find me guilty, because one of their arguments, they say, without my participation, there wouldn't have been the July unrest and the looting.
So you are the key, basically.
I am the key, basically. Looking here, you are looking at the chief architect of the July unrest. I'm the mastermind, the brains behind July unrest. How mad is that?
But
what? How mad? How mad? How foolish is that? I sit in that court. Look at these old people who are prosecuting me.
Yeah.
And I say, when they wake up coming to this matter, what goes on in their heads? What is that they seek to achieve? They said, when I was fighting for bail, I called my lawyer there because I wanted to be sure. I said, my lawyer, please ask him this question. That without me, there was not going to be a July unrest. And without me, the people, more than 300 people who were, more than 100 people were killed in Phoenix, who were black in them, all of them killed by predominantly Indians, because Indians, they have property in Phoenix and blacks came to loot that property. Then they killed them. That thing, it's because of me. I was shocked by the response. The magistrate said yes. Not the magistrate, the prosecutor said yes.
Yeah.
They were not going to kill them if you
did not incite.
You were not alive or you were not there during that thing when it was happening. Then I saw, no. In South Africa, the law has eyes. It depends who are you in South Africa. Both of us, we can do the same crime. But if I'm more connected, if I have more money, I can be treated differently. And when you can serve a life sentence while me now I'm outside. Look at Thabo Bester. In South Africa is full of possibilities. South Africa, never say never in South Africa. Never say something will never happen.
It's a movie.
In South Africa is full of possibilities. Anything can happen. You can go to prison and serve a 15-year imprisonment. The next day you are dead. The following day you are at 4 ways. The following day you wake up, you are reburied. You wake up. The next day you are in Tanzania. The following day you are back in South Africa. The next day you're out again. South Africa is full of possibilities. Never say never. Anything that does happen in this country.
But what do you I never actually wanted to ask you about this, but what do you think of the whole situation around the man. Actually, the question that I had for you, I think I had put it at the end, but I'm just gonna bring it up now. And the question, I'm just gonna read it out. For someone who was arrested. No, that's not the one. No. Where is that question? Oh, yes.
Look for it. Take your time.
Yeah,
man.
no. Yeah, it is.
Let me speak to my people while you think, are you done?
Yeah. For someone who was arrested, how simple is it to have prison wards, policemen, and politicians and so forth on your side?
For someone
who was arrested, for
Yeah.
someone like you who was once arrested,
Yeah.
looking at what is happening in the prison cells
Yeah.
and so forth, how simple is it to have the prison wards, the police, the politicians, and so
it's
forth
very simple.
to be on your
It's
side?
very simple, my brother. In prison, there
And
are
I'm asking you this now because you brought the whole Tabo Best thing. Yeah.
In prison, my brother. In prison, there are people who buy taxis while they are inside.
They what?
Buy taxis.
Taxis.
Quantums. They pay lobola while they're inside. No, I'm not saying these things of Tabo Best and who are all over the news.
Yeah.
I'm telling you that there are people that we have engaged. He tells you in prison, which I just bought another quantum. I'm paying lobola next month.
For himself.
For himself. Inside prison, there are people who are doing business. Inside prison, they sell food, they sell things. Inside prison, they do transactions, they do everything. Inside. The prison is a criminal network. And the prison wardens are sleeping in the same bed with prisoners. It's a connection. Though the prosecutors, one of the most corrupt people in the entire system, it's investigation officers. Always paid those guys.
Oh, they're the ones that mix up the stories.
For the lighter sentence, for the investigation to be weak.
Because everything it mostly
relies with them.
Yes.
So if you get arrested yourself, then you can capture while attending your case and be able to capture the investigation officer and make sure that he's in your pocket. You are done.
That's it.
You just appear there, you smile. You know, good. You are not going to get me, man. It doesn't matter. I murdered them, but you are not going to get me. There's no investigation.
Sure.
Because they destroy it. That is why even being a whistleblower, it's very difficult. It's very difficult. Being a whistleblower, if you know that Nancy iNkabi. I-CEO yase limpopo.podcast iNkabi ibulala abantu. Kodwa inemali.
That's not true, eh?
Ngiyasho nje. Futhi ngeke azabe akanangisho isibhamu, mina unesibhamu. Mina nje unesibhamu, onezibhamu akanasibhamu. I know exactly ukuthi ene uyiNkabi. I go, I report. Do you know what happens? They come, they fetch you. The people who will disclose who told them, it's where you reported, the police. Then they kill you.
Because they are working with?
They are working with them. You come and say, don't disclose me, this is what is happening. They are paid, they disclose you. These ones, they come and fetch you and scarred.
And then why
join your ancestors same time?
Why do you think this iNkabi thing is mostly? Of course, the iNkabi word is from KZN, but the killings, the people who are doing the killings and so forth, it is people from KZN. Why not other tribes who maybe get to join in? Maybe they feel like, okay, this could be a job for myself as well, because you understand it's a job, but it's a thing.
Yeah.
If like we know that this is a KZN thing. It's people from KwaZulu who are practicing this. Why do you think that is the case? And do you have maybe more information about it, like how much they get paid? How much does it take for somebody to just erase your life?
You know, violence has become part of the DNA
Mm.
of the Zulu culture for many reasons.
Okay.
For many reasons. You look at the songs that are sang during the traditional ceremonies, which are done. All of them is war songs. All of them. When you go, majority of them, when you go to the traditional ceremony of the Zulus,
Yeah.
hebe husuthu babe ngapha singapha kwafa umuntu gidike. Yes, a person has just died, but that's what they see.
It's a song.
So the culture has always been shaped by warriors, been shaped by
Violence.
It also goes back in how the Zulu kingdom also it was formed. The basics of the existence of the Zulu kingdom. It was built on violence.
The Shaka Zulus.
The Shaka Zulu, when he won other tribes over with an intention of building one united kingdom, expanding the Zulu kingdom. So it all became that. But it went further to what? When we were conquered by the English.
Yeah.
Hengome himpi yasencome kwaphela abantu hempi sencome himpi yasencome. That is a Zulu song. So all of them, it became part of the DNA. Many wars were fought in the Zulu land. Our fathers had guns when they grew up. Now the fathers come here because of migrant labor. They come and work in Johannesburg. They leave their guns under the kraal. They in the rural areas. We grow up. We use them. Those guns. Your manhood. It's defined how strong you are in terms of defending your family, surname and everything. So it goes. It goes to that extent. Now, when you mix that with the poverty that our people are faced with, then it becomes easy to breed a violent society, especially in that. Because I can tell you now, when you go to hostels now, if you are a nobody, I can hire a hitman with 5,000. Gone.
Out.
5,000.
If you are no profile.
Especially if you have no profile. 5,000,
you're out.
You are gone. Because like many are not unemployed, they have guns. But also our culture has been shaped around violence.
I wish we could go deep into this, but I can't because I think we only have like 7 minutes left until the load shedding cuts us off and we depend on lighting and sound. So I'm going to ask you, I think, just a few more questions, maybe 2 or 3. But one of the questions I wanted to ask you is, we've recently gotten to learn that you are now associated with the likes of Gayton McKenzie, who is the writer of this book, and Tate Kunene as well, who is also a prominent businessman. So, and these people happen to be ex-con men.
Yes.
And they were not arrested for any political activism.
Yes.
So how is it, why do you think that these people will play a role in liberating our society? Because they were not arrested for years.
Yeah. So, your question is like asking me, a beautiful lady on our street who was a prostitute.
Yeah.
Then she becomes a born again.
Yeah.
She accepts Jesus as a Lord and Savior.
Yeah.
Then after she has accepted that, you come to me as a pastor and say, why did you accept her? Because she was a prostitute.
Yeah, I feel you.
Once you accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior, you are then all your sins
Yeah,
are
forgiven.
cleansed away.
Yeah.
In my context as a Shembe, once I accept Shembe, everything goes away. I say we should not need to look at what did they do. In fact, what they are, it's what
Matters.
many young people, what they were, it's what many young people, they find themselves in. They were a product of our country,
Yeah.
a product of a certain environment, which made them to be what they were that time.
Yeah.
But our focus should be, what are they now?
Important.
Because people do change if they want.
Yeah, that's
to
true.
change.
Yeah.
And I believe that they can contribute beyond what they were arrested for, whatever that they did, which was criminal.
Yeah.
But they were able to repent. And we don't only see that through what they say, but we see
Actions.
that through how they carry themselves.
Yeah.
Which I think we should focus on that.
Yeah.
And especially they've paid for their sins.
Yeah. And
because
I think
they stayed
also
in jail.
we were discussing about, how, you going through your journey has kind of shaped you into who you are today.
Who I am
Yes,
today.
yes.
Yes.
So
even with them, I think they've became one of the leaders.
Yeah.
In fact, the journey they've traveled,
Yeah.
it has also assisted them to understand the world in all aspects. They are one of the well-rounders. I can tell you, if you speak about the president of the PA, Gayton, McKenzie, is one of the guys anytime.
Okay. Let me check out these books. This one is called A Hustler's Bible, the New Testament, and then this one.
It's his books that you.
What does this one speak about?
It speaks about the of course what he has went through. Speaks about the question of loyalty. What does loyalty means? It speaks about perseverance. Many things that how he has become who he are, from where he is and the journey that he has traveled.
And then this one, it says The Uncomfortable Truth by Gayton McKenzie. Have you read this one also?
No, I've read this one.
Okay.
Yeah, it goes touches on the business aspect, touches on the political aspect, and touches on the social life aspect.
Are they for me or you just came?
If you ask them, man, you are given on the camera. If you promise that you are going to rate them, though.
No, of course, I'm I believe I'm an intellectual.
Okay, that's
so
good.
Yeah, I like being informed, in all spheres of life. So I'm
if
not
you
ignorant.
rate, if you are gonna rate it, I'm gonna bring him here, Katie.
Definitely.
If you read and tell me that I've read this book says what, this book says what in page what, I'm bringing him.
You deliver him.
Yeah.
All right.
And we'll use this podcast and telling him that I promised. So, President, please deliver. Go to the young man.
Yeah.
And go. So he is one of the most authentic guys.
Yeah.
I've met so many leaders in politics.
Yeah.
Politicians, one of the things they could say something while they are not.
And take the other road.
And take the other road. Is one of the most, if he says this is this and this is that. That's what I love him. That's what makes me love him the most, because I love people who are authentic. Don't come here and say you don't drink alcohol. The next thing I find you are in a dodgy shebeen with two questionable characters, and you are drunk of cheap alcohol.
Yeah. No, I think I'll get to know more of him when he comes, if that ever happens. But anyways, the last question that I'll ask you is, 2023 is like mid right now. We only, I think, 4 months in, going into 5. What have you learned so far about South Africa? And in closing, what would you like to advise young people out there?
I've learned that as South Africans or as individuals, we are products of our own thoughts. Whatever that we feed ourselves to be, we become.
Sure.
Anything, like I said initially, South Africa is full of possibilities. Anything can happen, literally anything. And one of the greatest lessons is this character of Thabo Bester and Nandip. That you can actually sleep in prison today, tomorrow you are in Sandton.
At Woolworths.
At Woolworths. you are living a flamboyant life.
Wearing mazas.
Wearing mazas. So it means whatever that you want to become in life, so long as you invest in it, you can become. That is why I would always urge young people to say, take care of the environment that you are in. The type of people you keep in your life. Their mindset. Are you pursuing the same goals? Are you driving towards the same journey? What unites you with those individuals? But also, we must learn to have the greater love of our country. We must be patriotic. Because, especially black people, because if this country collapses, we have no other way to go. If South Africa collapses, you don't have dual citizenship that you can be black, South African, and
Australia.
be an Indian. And the recovery process of the country takes very long. Look at what happened to Zimbabwe.
Even now, they're still in that process.
So in whatever we do, when we have fun, when we do everything, let's make sure that we also fight for the greater good of our country. And also, just to speak on the leaders. Gone.
That's Valelo Ramaphosa.
It's fine.
But you can, you know what? Just finish it off in the dark. They know what happened.
Oh, so we are still on the dark?
Yeah.
Oh.
The audio is still on, but obviously they won't see us.
Yeah, it's fine. You put a nice picture of me. So I was saying, one of the things also we must also speak on is the caliber of leaders. Our people must be able to look at the caliber of leaders that are leading us as a country.
Yeah.
And also our leaders should take responsibility. In that parliament, the characters of politicians, prominent politicians who are leading us are very questionable. We need to change that.
Yeah.
Elections are coming. I think I will come on the part 2 of the podcast. We must speak on that. On what kind of leaders should we see leading us? What kind of politicians the country demands? And how should we vote as young people moving forward?
Who are you voting for 2024?
Yeah, I think we can sign out now in the dark. But this is history. I think I'll be the first person who does a podcast in the dark.
They have done it before because of the similar process. But otherwise, thank you, my brother.
Thank you very much, my brother.
Although they can't see us, but thank you so much. It's been a blessing to actually have you. I believe for myself, I've gotten to learn so much. I believe people of Limpopo, they're going to learn so much. People from South Africa, they're going to learn so much from you. And I believe most of them, maybe those who were wondering where you are, what are you doing? What are you currently busy with right now? Or it's studying?
It's politics.
Yeah.
Working.
Yeah.
I'm a political activist.
Yeah.
I'm working.
Yeah.
I'm also pursuing
studying
LLB.
Yeah. All right. No, I think we'll dive more into part 2 of your thing.
Yeah, I want to be a lawyer, my man, so that you can hire me for free.
I know.
Free services.
I think
defend limpopo.podcast.
If you are going to defend me, I'm safe. All right, guys, that's it from us. I'm with Bonginkosi. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment. It helps the channel grow. We love you. Thank you so much.
Salute.